So here we are once again looking at the spares bike, and this week Jeff's been working on something that I didn't expect him to work on, which is another plate which is going to live way down there against this crankcase here. So, so what's all that about then, Jeff? Explain away.
That is to replace,
let's zoom in there,
the original gear selector cover, which is only a very thin casting.
Yeah.
Plus, what we're going to do, I don't know if you can see it, at the bottom the GPZ casings don't have a bottom engine mount.
Yeah.
So actually when we dowel the plate and fit it to it, we can incorporate a bottom engine mount, which will have a spacer across the back.
So it's to replace
the other plate.
A weak cover with a much thicker, stronger cover, which also includes a rear mount as well to stabilise the engine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's now stop there and go and have a look what you've been making so far this week.
Right.
Off we go. So here we are with a test case, not a test case, a spare case.
Actually the engine cases that we are using for the engine that will be going in the bike.
Alright, okay, so it's the actual cases. And here we've got a nice thick, what's that,
20 mil thick.
20 mil thick piece of billet alloy.
19, it's either 3/4 or...
And as you can see, you've started off shaping it, once again from another piece of spare alloy. You can see it's been used for something else there. And you very carefully drill that and drilled all the mounting points.
We've actually used the original casing with a spigot with the drill, once it's been clamped to it, to follow the original holes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but etched on here in the engineer's ink is a little outline of the original case,
yeah.
Which is, I guess, what you're going to use to mill this shape out.
We've keep it flat at the bottom. I've milled round the front to clear the casings. The top, I think probably what we'll end up doing is just milling it off.
Yeah, you don't need to follow this particular shape.
We're going to put our top engine mount bolt through as well, so we'll take it up hopefully to where the
so round about here is where the engine mount will be, the additional engine mount.
I have already dot punched it with our special tool that fits through the case, and you can get the hole spot on.
Let me just lift up. So I'll do that again. So there's your little dot punch. You've put a machined point on the end of it, and so when you slide it through that existing mount and whack it one,
it dot punches.
It dot punches the exact place you need to drill.
It's within a few thou. It's
good enough.
Bolt, it's good enough.
Yeah, great. And also there's going to be one down here, which is a new mount.
If I can lift them,
you can slide it around. So looking at the case now from the other way round, so this is the back.
We've got it tipped up on its front.
Yeah. I can see a hole.
What our next job is, what we're going to do is machine a small block of aluminium with a 12mm hole in it, set it up with having the sump flat. We can clamp a plate to it, clamp our 12mm bar, and actually mark the plate again for our rear engine mount, bottom engine mount.
Right, okay, so what's the other hole for here, this little hole here?
That is just what was on the plate.
Alright.
We can come round that and shape it. It's a piece of plate that, that we found in the scrap bin.
Yes, the famous scrap bin.
The famous scrap pile.
Oh, cheap and cheerful. Right,
and eventually, once we've done that, there is another plate going on the clutch side.
Yeah, a spacer plate.
It will literally have a spacer right through the two plates. With two steel mounts on the frame.
There's a spacer going here in front, behind the clutch cover.
Behind the clutch,
which you'll extend this way to use it as an additional.
With a lug for that.
As an additional.
It helps to keep hopefully keep the back end
stable,
rigid.
Okay, great.
And that's all I can say at the minute.
Okay, is it time for tea yet? I mean,
it's tea. It's tea time.
It must be tea time.
And biscuit time.
Oh, no biscuits for me. I'm on a diet. Okay, so last time we saw this particular side of the bike, we were looking at this cardboard template, which will be the brace to support this snout and the whole supercharger. That's now been converted by magic to this, which is an aluminium plate. 10mm plate. It's not quite finished yet. It needs to be slit and drilled.
Yeah, we've just got to put a 6mm threaded hole in there and a little cut through it.
And then it will go something like that behind this plate and
round the snout.
Okay, great. And also
we now have our adjuster.
So this will be a belt adjuster, which again will wrap around here. It needs to be slit yet and whatever, and it'll have a roller at the bottom which will rest against there, and go on.
We've got it.
Yeah, so it's okay. We'll start. We'll start again.
What we'll do is we'll take that off.
Yeah.
Do that, and basically that will be fitted on once it's clamped round the snout. And it'll pivot and
tension this belt.
Tension our blower belt.
Yeah. So you've got to slit that yet, so it can slide on the snout, and it can then just swivel.
It'll swivel up
as required.
Tension our belt.
Brilliant. Great stuff. Cut.
It's all coming on.
It's all getting there. Yeah. Right, okay, so here we are on your workbench, and my cup of tea is right over there, so pass me my cup of tea before I die of thirst, thank you.
Tea.
Now, here we see that's your rear engine mount plate, made out of some, what is it, 20mm?
I think it's 20mm,
which we saw a few days ago, which you've now finished drilling it and shaping it.
It's all been finished milled.
Yeah. Although that's actually not going to be for our spares bike, is it?
That's going on the road bike.
Yeah, that's going to be on your Z650 stroke Z1300 road bike.
Road bike, yeah.
One day it might be on there.
One day.
I see it's got a big hole in it, so is that going to be for a bearing support?
Well, I've got to mill the back out to suit the original case for all the clearance for the this and that. Plus I've still got to put the hole in for the clutch push rod and the gear shaft.
Yeah.
Probably on that hole we'll just make a small cap with a seal.
Right.
That just.
And there's a second one there, but it's easier to do two at once rather than just doing one.
That one is for the
spares
bike.
It's not quite finished yet. You've got to shape it a wee bit.
I've left a bit more material on here because we have that I've just started to whip out. That will be going in there.
Yeah.
And the clutch operating arm that we may or may not be using at the minute, we don't know.
Sounds exciting, yeah.
I've left some material on here because if we've got to put a hydraulic cylinder on it, if we'd have milled here and then I found that I need a bit more material to...
It would have been a bit annoying.
So we'll leave that until we've...
So that's been keeping you busy. And I see over there, if I turn my little camera in the distance there on your worktop bench, I see about 5 or 6 arms.
Oh, conrods as someone thought.
Yeah, not conrods.
They're all little clamps for the blower tensioners.
Yeah, belt drive tensions and so on. So that's great. So looking ahead then, let me just drink some more tea and move this camera and we'll look at the bike. So bear with me for a second. Now looking ahead then, another 2 or 3 weeks say, you've made those plates, they're sorted out. What's the next step? I think it's going to be making a fuel tank, is that right? Or one of the steps anyway.
I've certainly got to design something because we've got to put some mounting tabs on the frame.
Yeah.
Possibly some small tabs off the front or a strip across. We're going to actually have the mount out of sight.
Yeah.
Which.
Okay. So it'll end up being like a kind of pyramid shape.
Triangular pyramid. Sort of, yeah.
Like a pyramid with the top chopped off, which will fit inside the frame rails. Yeah. So what you've got there in your hand is something you've made previously.
They're aluminium.
Yeah, I'll just zoom in on that. Little cups.
There's actually the exhaust mounts. They will.
So they're rubber.
There'll be 4 of them in the base of the tank, TIG welded in. So basically, all that you'll see is probably 4 or 5mm of the flange. So they'll actually be in the tank. There'll be strips across, and then basically it will just bolt.
Yeah.
In the gap.
And the shape of it, as I say, would be a kind of pyramid shape, but with the top chopped off.
I'll try and get it to
like a triangle.
Fit. It probably maybe not go right up into the corner. Maybe just finish it.
Or if you're old, it'll look like a jubbly.
Yeah. Plus, we've got to watch out because we've got our filler cap, which is going to be probably
sticking out there.
Maybe
somewhere around there.
Somewhere maybe there.
Yeah. And how about the outlet? Where's that going to be? Where's your fuel tank going to be?
That is what I've got to do is check on the rules because on the opposite side, I'd like to bring the outlet tap. Virtually, it'll have to come on the outside of the frame.
Yeah, which could be an issue in terms of.
I'm not sure.
For safety.
It may have to be either guard or well protected to stop it for if you were to come off the bike.
You can make it and then add a guarded knee later on.
It may need something on there. I'll have to check with the rules on that.
Okay.
But it will be the best direct line straight into the carburettor.
Okay, great.
On the other side.
So once the rear engine mounts are done, the clutch cover's done, the clutch is sorted out, and you've got the fuel tank done, what's after that? What comes next? Is that near the end, or have we still got a few more things to make?
Well, we're just before we were talking about it, we were on about the clutch.
Yes.
And we do have a marvellous piece of engineering.
Let's come and see that. Looks interesting.
Is what we have is a slider clutch.
Yeah. That's
come out of an early. It's out of the early Z, but the gear and the output spline are the same.
Yeah.
The
it's a heavy old thing, though, isn't it?
It's heavy, and we were thinking. Obviously, it does want some form of outrigger support to take that weight.
Yeah.
I reckon there's about £30.
Really? Okay.
Maybe, yeah, at least £30.
So it may be possible to make something to support that on the outside, a bit like my old Harley.
It looked like a cup that could be drilled, but it obviously will have to be made to remove quick.
Yes, yeah.
For your weight of
so that's hands. A job for another day. That might be a job in August then.
But it's ready to fit.
Yeah.
So.
But as usual, we want to do a bit more work on it, make it a bit better and a bit stronger. So assuming that clutch is sorted out then, and your covers are done, the fuel tank's done, you've got the seat unit modified and fitted. Obviously then the engine needs to be built, because that's not the engine it's going to have. You've got another set of cases over here, which is going to be loads of cases. 10 different sets of cases.
Enough to fill 10 skips.
Yeah, and you've got the pistons for that.
We've got 1260.
Yeah, that'll do.
Like I said, the only thing that I need is to get some thicker liners.
Yeah.
Because the block has actually been bored out to take a bigger liner.
Right, so you get some thicker liners.
We're going to have to chase up and see if we can find some.
No doubt that'll cost some money.
Cast iron liners.
Okay.
That can be machined to suit.
Yeah, so they may come out with different vehicle.
Or we could just take it out to
whatever.
The 1327.
Have you got any 1327 pistons?
Yes.
Oh yeah, well,
those are the high comp ones. So there's a couple of options.
Yeah, all right. I suspect this might end up costing me a bit of money, so we'll draw a veil over all that. So once the engine's done, then you've got the bottom end crank.
Bottom end, right? The crank is actually done. The crank is actually sat here.
Right. Okay. Let me just go and see that. Okay, so that's the crank that's going to be in our spares bike.
That one is, yeah. It's all been rebuilt. It's been welded, and it's been bronze bushed in the rods.
Right. Because originally they weren't bronze bushed, were they? They were.
No, they just actually the gudgeon pin ran in the hardened steel to steel.
Yeah.
And they could pick up and blew.
Well, that's now been modified and is now ready to go in the engine.
That's ready to go in the engine.
One of your many sets of cases is over there. And at some point in the next month or two, you'll build that engine up. And when the bike comes apart for painting and final kind of finishing and welding, that engine can go in. Brilliant. So, that sounds really easy and quick, but obviously it's not.
All the cases have got to be bored out yet for the bigger liners, which isn't a problem.
Okay. Right, so let's get started again. Once you've done the plates, the rear engine mounts, the fuel tank, the brakes, the brake lines, the fuel lines, what's next after that?
Press the button and go.
Take it apart, paint it?
No, strip it, yeah. Obviously, frame's got to be painted.
Finish building the engine, of course, when we know what kind of pistons you're going to use.
Like I say, we've got a couple of choices at the minute.
Yeah, we'll worry about that another day. So looking ahead then towards the end of July and into August, what kind of progress are we going to make?
I like it. I like all the mounts, all the brackets possible.
Fuel tank done?
Not necessarily having the tank done, but having the mounts done.
No, I think we need to get that fuel tank done soon.
It could be made now, but
yeah, we'll do it soon. We'll do it soon.
But all the seat brackets, wheelie bar brackets,
right.
You know, we need to sit here for an hour and look and make sure we've got all the.
Yeah. So probably by what, September-ish, we should be coming to the end of the build process. Then it's going to come apart, paint it, hopefully fire it up, just in time for all the rain and the snow. And then next year we'll get it out and.
There's still a bit of work to do because obviously we've got to consult a few people and make sure we get our jetting right or get it in the ballpark.
Yeah.
So ignition timing on methanol, that'll be another
decision to
thing.
make.
With nitromethane you can get away with like 70 degrees advance, but with methanol you're probably about the same as what you would if it was petrol.
Right, okay. Well, this video's gone on far too long now. I think it's about at least 10 or 15 minutes long, so we'll end it there. I'll go and drink some more tea. You can go and do some more work.
I'll earn some more money to buy the black paint for the frame.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave it there, and thanks for watching, and cheers.